What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because if you have been with me for a while, you know that we got a little different vibe going on. And if you haven't been with me, my channel is mostly business, marketing, all of those types of tips. And then I also do a lot of day in the life vlogs of me building my business. But I really wanted to start sharing some of my unfiltered thoughts, whether it's about business or personal or just I don't know, things that just go on in my head. So I thought, ooh, Erin Unfiltered. Like, let's run with that and just see how this turns out. Okay. This is going to be kind of like no outline, kind of just word vomiting and just sharing my stream of consciousness. So, today I want to talk about how to stop being intimidated by other people's success and just how to deal with jealousy and how to find your own lane through that, which is not always the easiest. So, I have always been the type to put myself out there. Like, ever since I was in college, I was hustling, doing different competitions to win scholarships. Like, I have always wanted to be a good student. I have always cared about how I dress, how I present myself. I have just always kind of been a very confident person. I never had major issues with confidence or low self esteem or feeling deep jealousy toward anyone around me. And I just honestly knew that there was something greater for me. And I feel like it is kind of rare because most of the time when people talk about confidence or jealousy or self esteem, like it's coming from a place where I used to be very insecure, and these are the steps that I took to become more self assured. And I never, like, that's not my story. And sometimes you feel like when that's not your story, it's like you can't speak on those things. But I think it's great to hear other people's perspectives about certain issues because everybody's path is so different. So, ever since I was in college, high school, college, like I've always been a high achiever. And I got into the school that I wanted to get into. And so as I got older, like I tried to do things that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like I was always I have one sister and my parents always said that I'm the one who like just they couldn't convince me to do things that they wanted me to do. Like my mom tried to convince me to be an RA. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I decided to study abroad. Like when I went abroad, I went all the way to Cape Town, South Africa, like skydived, like rode elephants and like just did all the things. Like I started adopting the quote, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And it was just kind of like I had blinders on my life. Like I was just living. So once I graduated from college, I decided to move back home and take this job at a credit union. Now, like I said, I was a high achiever. Like I was top of my class. I was expected to be one of the people who graduated from Howard School of Communications who like went and worked at some major media company or some major like PR firm. And that was just not my path. And so I was applying for jobs, and nothing was landing. And I'm like, what is going on? So I ended up finding this job that was for a spokesperson position here in Michigan for a credit union. And it just seemed like the perfect fit. But it was like, I'm really like a college graduate. I have had all of these internships. Like I feel like I am qualified to be working at like a legitimate media company. Yet nobody wants me, and now I have to move back home with my parents. Like everybody else has these amazing jobs and is moving and going to New York, going to LA, going to Atlanta, and I'm moving back to Detroit. And so I just was like, during that time, I really had to dig deep and say, Erin, like, look, your path is your path. Like, this move is going to be the move that you needed to make to set your path up for what is to come. So I really like this job was a 1-year contract position that I had to do a contest for to even win. Like I didn't need my resume, I didn't need my degree. I literally had to go like do kind of like a performative audition to get this spokesperson role, which ended up being a job as a marketer, basically, who ran their social media, tried to get more young people signed up for the credit union, just ran their blogs, their YouTube channel. And I did not have a clue that that was giving me all the practice for my next job, which ended up being at National Geographic. And then my next job, which ended up being full-time content creation YouTuber business owner. And so as my career just kind of matriculated like very quickly, even though when I first got out, I was a little bit down, I was like, you know what, Erin, you just gotta make this count. Like, I don't care how small this opportunity feels to you. Like, you have to make this, you have to put in work like you are working for whatever the biggest media company is. Like you're working for CNN or MSNBC or wherever. Like you need to put in 1,000% and see where this gets you. And so I really started kind of adapting that mindset from then. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to belittle this. I'm going to push forward. So my career ends up just taking off, and that is when I really started to experience the jealousy of other people onto me. And it, I feel like jealousy is usually talked about from the person who is jealous, their end, like, you know, how to overcome jealousy and how that distracts you from what is supposed to be yours. And I agree with that. But I don't think that it's talked about enough the effect that being jealous of someone has on the person you're actually jealous of. And from your perspective, it looks like the person has it all together and they are just thriving and they don't feel that energy. But the energy of jealousy is real and it is felt, whether you think you're showing it or not. It is the expression you make when someone has a win and you're not happy for them fully, or it's the question that you ask, or it's the energy you bring into the room with you. Like those things have a really big effect on the person that you're jealous of, especially when it is somebody that you are close with, like a close friend, a sibling, a cousin, someone in your family. Like it's hard to feel like your success is, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's hard to feel like your success is truly earned and accepted. I don't even know if those are the right words, but when the people around you can't embrace that with you. And it's almost like, well, do I deserve this? Because these people around me must think I don't, you know, like, and it's hurtful, you know? And I think as I have grown in success, like, it becomes easier to deal with to an extent because it becomes more of a muscle that you become more in tune with the people around you and how they respond. And when the people around you that you care about their opinions don't respond with their full adoration of you, it makes the accomplishment damp. Like it just dampens the win. But that energy, it just kind of lingers, and ultimately it can change the dynamic of a relationship. I just know that my path is my path and that there's nothing that's going to stop me. And it's really sad because sometimes that can be motivating. It's like, you think I just did something with that? Like, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know what I mean? Like, it can make the person even more motivated to continue to pursue things. And when you have these jealous feelings and this person that you're jealous of is tapping into a level of themselves that nothing is able to stop them, you are also putting yourself in a worse position because they're just going to keep going. And it's like, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. And so for me, I have just learned to surround myself with people who give me the feeling of joy, and I know who are going to celebrate my wins with me. And it has been difficult. Like, I would be lying if I said it's easy for me to find friends because I am pretty assured of pretty sure of myself and confident. I think a lot of relationships, especially amongst women, thrive off of drama and just cattiness and jealousy, and there's always bickering, and that has just never been my thing. Like, I just cannot deal with it. So the moment that those things start to arrive, I can't deal with it. And I have recently found friends that have really helped me like grow and who celebrate me, and we celebrate each other and we are there for each other, and it just feels good. And I'm 30 almost, and I'm like, I was listening to a podcast, Jay Shetty with Michelle Obama, and they were talking about friendship, and it really like blessed me because Michelle Obama was saying how when she got in office, like, her brother told her, like, don't let everybody in. And she said that was probably the worst advice she's gotten, because letting people in is the way that you are able to find those relationships that can ultimately change your life. And she compared it to climbing Mount Everest. And she's like, every friend is not going to make it to the top of the mountain with you. And you have to be okay with that. But, you know, the climb takes endurance, it takes consistency. And like, when you find those people who have those qualities to be able to climb the mountain with you, like, you hold on to them. But also, like, as you achieve more and as you get higher up the mountain, don't close yourself off to other hikers who could be coming, who can also like go to the top with you as well. Like, you can't just close yourself off, because it's basically better to be open and to cut people off where they don't fit than to be closed and never meet the people that are destined to make your life better. So that really helped me put things into perspective, not just about jealousy, but just about friendship and how all of it kind of ties together. But anyway, I just think that I just wish and pray that people find their own lane. Like, find what you are good at. Figure out what you are good at and focus on that thing. And most of the time when people are jealous, they don't even really know what exactly they're jealous of, or they don't even actually want what you have, because they don't realize what it takes to carry that load. You know, like, they may think they want the life that you have, or the relationship that you have, or the house that you have, until they got to clean that big old 5,000 square foot house. And they're like, shoot, I'm good at my 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? Like, or until they realize the hard conversations you have to have in your marriage, or until they realize, everything that goes into running your business. Like, there are things that are unseen. And when you're jealous of somebody, you don't even know what the full picture is. And so I think when it comes to finding your own lane, what I have always tried to do is to make sure that what I'm doing feels good. Like, the joy has to come first. And if you're doing something and it's not bringing you joy, then I think that that's worth pivoting. Like, I remember when I first started Erin on Demand and I was doing video production, and that was like a means for me to make money. But after a while, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I love video, but I love being in the video. I love creating. I love being on the other side of the camera. And I had to pivot. I'm like, I have to do something different that makes me feel joy. And until you have that self-assurance, until you have that confidence to go after, and not even go after, but just simply identify what it is that you like one, what it is that you like, but two, what it is that you actually want out of life. And then go after that. There is no room for you to be looking at somebody else and actually putting that much energy into creating these feelings of jealousy toward them. And I just think, like, once you really experience self-love and finding your zone, you are just unstoppable. And that's not to say, like, sometimes I look at people and I'm like, "Ooh, that's a cute bag. Like, I wish I could get one of those right now." But it's like that's like the level. I feel like that, I don't even know if that's jealousy. That's just kind of like, "Oh, I like that." Like, that's kind of more admiration. But I feel like jealousy is just uh, I don't want to say it's a wasted energy, but it is wasted if you don't channel it in the right way. It is not wasted if you take those emotions and you channel it back into yourself and say, I am so inspired by this person that I need to go and get into my bag. You know what I mean? Like, that's more of how you can use jealousy to your own advantage and make it elevate you instead of deplete you. And that switch has the power to make your relationships better, or it has the power to make your relationships worse. Jealousy really is rooted in, I feel like, admiration. So it's like both people are feeling something that they really don't even have to feel. So I hope this encourages you. I hope it gives you a new perspective. And I love you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of video. Also, let me know if there's any other type of topics that you want me to discuss. Also, this is really hard sitting here and just talking. Like, my husband and I have a podcast, and it's so much easier to just talk like this, like freely speak when you're talking to someone or if someone's asking you questions. But to just sit here and talk and do like chit chat type of things, that is a skill. Okay. Another thing, if you jealous of a YouTuber who does great story times or chit chats, like, try to sit down and talk for 10, 20 minutes straight and see how difficult it might be. It is a challenge, okay? But I'm going to keep doing these because I want to practice, like, just sharing my thoughts. And I think that, I don't know, I just feel like I have thoughts to share. So, boom, we going to share them. All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.